What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for the day. Yesterday, definitely not a good day whatsoever. If you guys do not know, whether I have a good day, whether I have a bad day, I'm always going to come on here and share with you guys how we have done. I'm always going to be transparent with you guys. And yeah, like I said, yesterday was not very good. I will say, though, this last weekend, we went up like 35 units in one weekend using the same exact bets that you pretty much see here, right? So, if you guys do not know, sports betting, it's a very up and down game, but you have to think long term, okay? We went up 500 to 600 units in last year's betting. We are also up, close to 160 to 170 units so far in 2025. So we do win long term, guys. A great example of this is even like last week on these YouTube plays. I think I went 4 days in a row without hitting a YouTube play. And then we come back one day, I think it was last Thursday, and we cashed a 3 out of 3 for a 6x, and then the next day we cash a 3x entry right there. So that was 9x of entries in like a 2-day span, and that paid for all of the losses, right? So you pretty much put down 4 entries. We lost them at the beginning of last week. That would be 4 units, right, that you spent, and then you made 5 units from the 6x, and then you made 2 units from the 3x. So what would that be? That would be like 7 units, right? So you guys would go up like 3 or 4 units just last week alone by just trusting the process and trusting every single play, okay? So again, who knows if that's going to happen this week, but you guys need to understand that I've been here before. There's a lot of ups and downs in this game, and at this point for me, I'm not even really emotional about it. I'm just like, I know we're going to win long term. That is honestly the biggest hurdle of being in the VIP and winning money on PrizePicks, is you have to put your emotions aside, okay? I've said this before, the VIP is not for everyone. If you're looking to like win every single day and just have like some easy sort of like betting journey, it's probably not out there for you, honestly. There's a lot of people that are going to sell you things and say that you can win every day, and we have the locks of the day and stuff like that. But my VIP is not for people looking for something like that. I'm not going to kind of get into other people's hustle and stuff like that. But a lot of times those people are just losing long term, and they're just really, really good at marketing and thinking that they win long term. So if there's people out there that can actually show you proof, show you what they've done over the past month or the past 2 months, this is some of last year's graphs and stuff like that. And if you guys do not know, again, we're up about 160, 170 units so far this year alone in 2025, okay? So I do want to go over yesterday's picks. I also want to talk a lot about closing line value. So I'm kind of starting something where I want to try to teach also, like, coming on here and just kind of brainlessly giving you guys plays, that's fine, but I also want to have some teaching points so you guys can actually win long term, and you guys can kind of change your mindset around sports betting, right? So this play in particular, this game actually just ended. Simple not going over 13 was super, super close. It was kind of a middle of the road game. So Wakadia goes over at 17, Simple gets 13, and he could have easily gotten like 14 or 15 kills. But I do want to say, like, just because Simple went under, that does not mean that this was a bad play. This was actually a phenomenal play, okay? And I'll explain why. And I posted this on my Twitter too, if you want to also go there and read. But Wakadia got bumped to 16 by game time, and Simple got bumped to 15.5, okay? So we got bumped a full 2 kills higher. And this is what's called closing line value. And this isn't just a PrizePicks thing, this is for any book, right? And closing line value is one of the most important things to be a profitable sports bettor, okay? So we got Simple at 13.5, and when I always talk about by game time these lines are going to bump, this is exactly what I mean, right? So this is a VIP play. We got him at 13.5, he bumps to 15.5. Yes, he only gets 13 kills, but if he would have got 14 or 15 kills, we would have won, and everyone else that would have took him right when the line was out, earlier today or whatever, they would have actually lost if they took him at over 15.5, okay? So this is a prime example of something that is going to help you win long term. It's closing line value. So if you're betting and you're not, you are not consistently getting closing line value, there's a problem, right? And winning bettors are people that get consistent closing line value. Here's another example of that with Chovy. This was my favorite play of the day yesterday. We got him at 18.5, and he bumped up to 20.5, and the game isn't even happening till like 15 hours, 14 hours from now. So he might actually bump even further than this. We don't know. Here's another good example of yesterday's play. These were the 2 plays, obviously, in yesterday's YouTube video. Elk, we got him at 21.5. He's down to 21. So not as big of a bump, but still good closing line value, and we got value on that play right there. So again, I know yesterday it was frustrating. We didn't really hit a lot at all. We actually went 0 for 3 on Taco Tuesday, which I can't remember the last time I went 0 for 3 on Taco Tuesday. We've had a lot of 3 out of 3 days on Taco Tuesday. 0 for 3 on Taco Tuesday really sucks. We've had a lot of sweeps happen, which is unfortunate because if you look at the odds, if you look at the sports books, they're not saying that these games are supposed to get swept or anything like that. Nemesis, Las Ratonas sweeps Nord, and they've actually struggled against Nord in the past. They were 3-2 before this series versus Nord, so it was a very back and forth even series. Las Ratonas absolutely dominates them, wins 3 games in a row. Nemesis gets 20 kills because of it, and then Grave right here that I took over 12, he only gets 3 kills because his team gets swept and they go 0-3. So a lot of sweeps. Again, if you were to look at these plays before game time and look at the probability that one team was going to sweep the other team, it'd be like plus 300 or like plus 400 even. And if you guys don't know, plus 300 or plus 400 is like the odds that someone's going to like hit a home run or something like that, right? So it's unlikely to happen for sure. And it actually happened with Nemesis, with Grave, and it happened yesterday with Cube. All 3 Taco Tuesday plays that I took on League of Legends sweeps happen, right? So, sweeps are going to kind of make these game scripts of League of Legends go completely directions, right? Where the losing team's going to get no kills whatsoever if you get swept. The winning team's going to get a ton of kills if you are the one doing the sweeping, if that makes sense. So a little bit of unluck with all those sweeps and stuff, but it's not really going to happen all the time because, again, at the end of the day, Bovada, Pinnacle, Thunderbet, all these other books have these sweeps happening at like a plus 300, plus 400 type range here. We do have a setup going tonight, so we'll keep our fingers crossed. So again, I talked about how we profit. Since May 1st, we're up about 34 units. That's good. Over the weekend, we went up and hit about that 50 unit range. So we are down about 10, 15 units since the weekend. But once again, I want to, emphasize, think about last week, think about last week's picks that we hit 3 or 4 10Xs last weekend. And then we also, even last week's YouTube plays alone, right? We went like 0-4 to start the week. And then we hit a 3 out of 3 and then a 2-man back-to-back days. And that sends us over the profitability, guys. So I wish I kind of had my yearly graph of 2024. I guess it is kind of this line right here, but there's a lot of ups and downs in this journey, right? You're going to have days, you're going to have weeks where you go down 20 units, 25 units. We always bounce back, guys. It has probably happened 20 to 25 times at this point where we've gone down like 20, 25 units or something, and then we've bounced back out of it. And then all the comments are like, oh man, I wish I would have stuck with it and stuff. And again, like I'm not trying to brag about this, but I'm just saying I've been here before. If you stick with the process, you will make money, guys. And I've told you guys that, yeah, I'm not emotional anymore about this stuff. I know we have a winning strategy, and I know correlation will win long term. So again, let's get into the play of the day. Sorry if I talked a lot. I'm just kind of in a teaching mood recently, so I appreciate if you listen to it. And I'm telling you, if you really understand what I'm saying, you can win a lot of money long term. Not even with my picks, just going through this journey and changing your mindset about betting. Okay, so hopefully that resonates with someone out there. And let's get into today's play. So we do have WNBA. This is actually happening tomorrow night, or I think tomorrow afternoon. Okay, and we have Ariel Adkins to go over 15.5. I meant to actually bring up her last statistics, but she's been doing really good this year. The games that she does well, she gets like over 20, 23 points in assists. And then there are some games where she doesn't do so well and gets like 13 or 14, okay? It's one of those things where if you look at the averages, I'm looking at the averages last 10 games. I meant to actually have a screenshot of it. She's averaging 17.3, okay? She's averaging 17.3 over the last 10 games. Her line is at 15.5 right now, and her average is like 2 to 3 points in assists over this line right now, okay? So again, kind of the bottom, her floor is around like 13 or 14, and then her ceiling is like a 23 or 25, okay? So that range right there, I'm liking more of like the mid 20s to lower 20s that she's going to get, right? I'm thinking that she's probably going to get like a 20 or 21 points plus assists in this game tomorrow night, all right? And then we got Reptile under 15 map kills. Again, I don't have statistics on him because it's a very different game. They're playing a game where they're not favored in this game. It's actually a close game, but Reptile in losses is going to do way worse than he does in wins, and that's kind of a standard thing in League of Legends, right? Again, as I said with Chovy, I can almost guarantee that this is going to bump down. I think it's going to bump down by 13 to 13.5. I'll have a screenshot in tomorrow's video if that does happen. I know how to find closing line values on these plays here. And this line will probably bump all the way down to something like a 13.5, and that's going to be amazing value. So I would say take it at 15, take it at 14.5, and take it at 14. If it bumps any lower than like a 13.5 or to 13, I would probably stay away from it. Again, if you're having a lot of bumps and you're getting in these, you're watching these videos like a couple hours later and these lines are already bumped, I would turn on post notifications and try to get on these videos as soon as possible, because these 0.5, 1 kill, 2 assist differences, they make the world of difference, right? That is really the difference of being profitable versus not profitable, okay? So if you guys do want my VIP completely free, I am doing a Bovada promo right now. All you have to do is text me the word Bovada to my number right here on the screen, and I'll get you guys in for 2 free months of my VIP. It is as simple as that. Once you, if you are in one of these blue states right here, then you are eligible to sign up for Bovada. I'll get you guys the instructions by texting me in like 5 minutes after you text me, and you will get signed up for the VIP 2 months free after you do so. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.